Shalom, shalom, it's falling ashore. Welcome again to The Rock. Got an article for you I thought was very telling, especially because when we look at the employment numbers, people are not looking at what a lack of employment or low employment numbers means for you. So there's an article right here, USA Today. It says, Americans quit jobs at a record pace in November as job openings hovered close to their all-time highs, and a sign that workers continue to hold most of the leverage before the Omegatron variant sent the zombie plague cases soaring. They said a number of workers quitting jobs vaulted to 4.5 million from 4.2 million, above the prior record of 4.4 million reached in September. The Labor Department said Tuesday. That means that 3% of workers voluntarily left their positions, matching September's record high. Employers posted 10.6 million job openings, down from the near record 11 million the previous month, and just below July's all-time high. So, I just wanted to just that, but you'll find, I'll post the article in the description. But what does that mean for you? They're also saying that this week, this is going to be the most, record number of people calling out sick. Well, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to wherever you go to purchase your goods and services, do you know how the stuff gets on the shelf? Somebody puts it there. Somebody puts the thing that you buy on that shelf. And if nobody puts it on that shelf, if nobody's there to put it on the shelf, if nobody's there to ship it or to drive it from the location to location, because, we have a on-demand service right now. I mean, the food comes in from the semi-truck, it's put on a pallet, it's taken off the truck on the pallet, and then put on the shelves immediately. They have a little bit of overstock in the back, but it's called overstock, meaning they couldn't get it on the shelves. But if the people aren't there to put it on the shelves, how do you get it? If the people aren't there to drive it, how do you get it? Because shelves being bare is a new thing that everybody's talking about now. I'm surprised that so many people are just waking up to the fact that their shelves were being emptied. People are sending me pictures like, I can't believe it. This is the first time I've seen this. And I'm asking like, well, you missed it all last year? Did you miss that the shelves were... This was happening, for the last 2 years? The supply chain is being shot. It is being shot. There is very, very, very little hope that it's going to return back to normal. And now we have winter, and then we have spring. We're going to have the farming season, which is going to be worse than it was last year. This situation is not a one-year problem. I've been trying to tell, and many others have been trying to tell, it almost feels like the 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. For those who've been on the channel for any amount of time, you remember I said about 2 years ago, right before the zombie plague hit, it feels like we are in we are entering the 7 years of famine. The 7 years of plenty are coming to an end. But people went to their shelves and said, well, it can't be the end of the 7 years of plenty because the shelves are still, I can still go and buy my this and buy my that. Look at them now. And now with workers calling in sick, or with people just quitting. Now, I am in touch with people from Human Resources. I have some subscribers that are human resource workers or managers. And what they're not telling you is that a lot of people that they are employing are people that will work for a week or 2 or 3, get a paycheck or 2, and then quit. They're just making enough money just to get them to the next month, and then they quit. They're not staying long term. They're not being employed, year or 2 or 3. They're just there to get a couple paychecks. Usually, I'm there, what they've been told or what they've seen and reported to me was they'll work for a month, get a couple paychecks, and that's enough money for them to relocate from where they are to a place somewhere else. That they're getting just moving money, basically. They're getting enough finances to pay their cell phone bill and move. Uh-oh, auto darkening. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So, what does that mean for you? What that means is this crisis is going to continue to get worse. This is not going to end in the year 2022. Even if, amazingly, the zombie plague stopped, the damage is going to be done and has been done, and it's going to affect people for years to come. For years to come. Also on Drudge Report, hey, Tootie, put. I'm doing a video. Also on Drudge Report, let me see if I can get there real quick. There was another article that I was reading, that I think people need to pay attention to. It's on drudgereport.com. In much of the West, walls closing in on those that choose not to get the poke, the walls are closing in. This is on the news. I'm going to do a separate video on this. But there's a lot happening right now that you've got to keep your eyes open to. Stop expecting the shelves to be magically filled up. Stop expecting your pantry to be magically filled up. If you don't grow it, you're in trouble. And there's a major attempt I don't know to call it an attempt, but there's a heavy disabling factor that's going on. And people are paying for it, and people are going to suffer. The farming industry is being affected, from seeds to fertilizers to tractor components and parts that are needed. I mean, we're going to have a terrible growing season, which means a lot of what you buy, or a lot of what you eat, you don't grow. So a lot of what you eat comes from these large corporation farmers, or even small-time farmers that sell to the grocery stores. They're not going to be able to plant what they normally plant. Plus, the United States of America is exporting goods still. China's buying up the wheat. There are some large problems that are being implicated here. And with the employees deciding that they're not going to work or they're not going to stay long-term at their positions, despite the fact that a lot of these organizations are paying better. I read an article where a local hospital was fighting with Walmart for employees, the local Walmart in a smaller town. And Walmart was winning because Walmart was able to pay more to their workers than the hospital was. This auto lighting thing is not working very good. There you go. Thank you. So it's a massive effect, and it's affecting everybody. People are fighting for employment. People are fighting to fill positions that nobody wants to fill, which means in come the robots. In come the robots. And a lot of the people that are retiring or leaving their positions, or the great resignations, what they're calling this, are those that have been doing it for years. So are the most experienced are choosing to. The ones that are 50 and over, the ones that are 45 and over, the ones that have been doing the job for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, they're deciding, I'm done. And a lot of the youth, a lot of the younger people, 25, 26, 27, they don't want to do those jobs. Why? Because why would I, go and try to get this job where I'm going to have to specialize in this and go get, certificates or degrees just to make $24 an hour when I can go to Walmart and make $22 an hour and not have to get in massive amounts of debt. So your shelves are going to greatly be impacted for years to come, which the only result of this all for you, if you see the issues, is you have to learn self-sufficiency. You're going to have to grow food. You're going to have to be able to produce something. And it's going to be food. You're going to have to know somebody that maybe is a machinist. You're going to learn to have to repair things, to fix things. You're going to have to learn how to work with some metal. Man, there are some things that I've learned recently that I didn't even know I could do. That doesn't take, expert skill for you to even to repair things, to fabricate some metal parts that you're going to need, or you may need for all sorts of things. We're at that time now where if you don't have the skills, if you don't know how to plant some food and grow some food or do something, you're going to eat. It's going to be bad. And now they're pushing this meatless society. It's amazing. In the faith, you got people pushing meatless. I think it's a spirit. I truly believe there's a spirit going on right now where people are pushing, in the faith and in society, a meatless society. Almost at the exact same times, people within the faith and the world start talking about, the animals are doing these things to us, and the cows are passing gas and destroying the ozone layer. We need to get rid of the animals. People should stop eating meat. Look, eat this veggie steak. Look, stores now are selling this meatless chicken nuggets. What? Meatless steak. They're taking it somewhere. I hope you're ready. I hope you're preparing. I hope you see what spirits are operating right now in the time that we're in. And I hope that you have gotten your mind, your heart, your physical body right. Don't just concern yourself with the spiritual. You better have the physical ready. And don't just concern yourself with the physical. You better have the spiritual ready. Because first that which is natural, then that which is spiritual. Bless y'all. Shalom.